wall.
Positive.
Hard work.
Good.
Tough.
Excited.
Sad.
Happy.
Scary.
Worthwhile.
Bad.
Focused.
Terrible.
Motivated.
Rude.
Power.
Ugly.
Inspired.
Mean.
Trust.
Crude.
Dream.
Disrespectful.
Believe.
Worthless.
Smile.
Angry.
Thankful.
Upset.
Visualize.
Needed.
Funny.
Joke.
Joyful.
Waste of time.
Creative.
Unhappy.
Adventurous.
Disastrous.
Strong.
Hi guys, it's Questfish, and I hope you enjoyed that intro because today was a little bit different because I wanted to start off with negative and positive words because today's video is all about achieving goals in life, and today I'm joined with Freire to talk about this.
Yeah.
So, life is fun, life can be bad at the same time, and I think to keep things on track you need to set yourself goals to achieve things in life because I don't know, I guess I kind of feel if you're not achieving goals then you're not bettering yourself.
Well, goals make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Goals build you up. Achieving goals does. And even if you don't achieve them, you learn something. So
That's so true.
I think they're really important because if you don't have any goals, you don't learn anything about yourself, and you don't give yourself the opportunity to either progress or
Better
move,
yourself.
well, it's not even better yourself, is it? It's just to like move, to change direction, to otherwise we'd all just go in it. Well, we wouldn't even go in a straight line without a goal. We'd just stagnate, wouldn't we?
I guess we wouldn't achieve anything. We wouldn't do anything. I guess, and I think it really is really a positive thing to achieve things, because you're right. Otherwise, you are going to be stagnant. And just say for example, let's pluck something out of the air. We'll go on to what I did in January and some of the things Freire's done in her life. But just say, okay, I've done this as well. Then what point I was going to say, whereas I worked when I was young. I worked at Wix, okay, which is building suppliers, and I didn't want to move because it was easy. And Freire was like, you got to get a new job, Lee. You have to, because we've got a house and we need more money. You have to get a new job. You have to better yourself. So I did it. I was scared.
Rocket up the backside, jobby.
It was. But I was very scared at the time. It was difficult to do for me, because of the type of personality that I am. But I did it, and I bettered myself going forward, and it was the right thing to do.
So do you think that from pushing yourself, I don't even want to use the word improved yourself because that's not kind of for anyone else to judge, but do you feel happier with yourself? Do you feel that for you're a better person because you pushed yourself? Totally.
I mean, obviously I can't say what I would have achieved if I would have stayed there, but I like where I am now. For example, with my current, because from then, Freire, we went on and they said, look, you've got to get another job, you're going nowhere where you are there, and I want to get another job. And the job I'm doing now, I've done really well. I've climbed quite high in the ladder for the education that or the grades that I achieved at school, and I feel that I've bettered myself there. So I think if I would have stayed there.
So I'm going to just interrupt for a second.
That's
fine. Because what you've said is just really valuable. I think that you don't have to have done really well at school to change things later on in life.
Totally.
I personally think that it's never too late. Like, I don't intend to stick. Don't listen to this, future employers. I don't intend to necessarily stick in one particular thing for the rest of my life, because there's always something else you'll be good at. And I don't mean that you're going to jump from, I know what field I want to work in, and that's really important to me, but within that, there's also lots of roles, and you know, I don't think you're ever too old to go and to work towards something and to experience new things and to give it a go. And I think for me, that's just the way I see it. Like, I don't imagine that I'm ever going to get to the point where I'm too old to do this, I'm too old to do that, because you're not.
And I agree, and obviously I've known you since, you know, you were like 17, 16 years old, and that is so true. Like, you left school and you got a job and you seemed quite happy there, you know, but then you moved and you pushed yourself. But then what the most inspirational thing about you is how you said, I'm achieving really well where I am now, but okay, I want better for myself, and you've
How do you define better?
I don't know. It just, because every time you seem to change your career path, you seem to, I don't know. It's not about money.
Learn more about
you learn more about yourself, and you learn more in general. I mean, for example, right, just to put it out there, is like when you one of your career changes was to set up your own business. Freire set up her own cleaning business, and wow, what a success it really was. And it was a success, and you know, it was you and your partner, and you were making good money out of it, you know. In all fairness, you were making good money because before, okay, if we step back, before that you went off and you did your accountancy AAT course and you qualified in that, you know. And anyone think, okay, if you compared someone that's got the AAT and accountant qualification to being a cleaner, you'd think, you kind of think, yeah, I'll take the AAT, the account qualification over the cleaner. But by my God, I learned something massive here. Freire was earning more money in her cleaning business doing less hours. Fact. And it was so successful that you started employing people. But the point I'm trying to get at, the big change that Freire recently made, she went, I want to change my life. I want to go down a different road now. And you changed it, and you've gone down a new career path, and now you're back at college, and then you're going to go to university to do something completely different.
Yeah, but I think that's what's happened there. Like, and this is like something I guess that happens to a lot of women, is, you know, when you have children, you're then limited in one way or another, or in several ways. You've either got to earn enough to be in a job that earns enough to pay for childcare, or you've got to somehow not work and look after the kids, and like, you know, we all know the deal. So, I mean, my change came from that, obviously. You know, I gave up my job when we had kids, and then I got to the point where I was like, they're getting a little bit older, you know, like they were young but a little bit older. I wanted to earn some money, and that's when we set the business up. And then, you know, that went really well. But then it got to the point, well, they're older now, and now it's time for me to do something for me. You know, they don't necessarily need me around, but that's the point I think some people get to, and it's quite a difficult time, because you're then in a difficult situation where, you know, you like maybe haven't got qualifications, or you haven't got experience, or, you know, you've been out of the workplace for a long time, people don't want to employ you, so it's really hard to get back into work. And that's maybe where some people find it really difficult. So, but I believe that, you know, you should just go and do what you want, basically. You know, and there's always a reason, and there's always a time for you, and it's knowing when that is and seizing that moment, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, but you know, it must be hard. Well, it obviously must be. It is hard to make such a big change in your life like that. In the respect of it's a gamble. You know.
Yeah, but that depends on how you view things, because I don't really see it as a gamble, because I was done with doing what I was doing, so I had nothing to lose, even though it was, I mean, okay, financially and that is a gamble, but I mean, you know, it's not like I didn't want to be doing it anymore, I wanted to move on. So in that sense, no, it isn't a gamble, you should just do it. If you want to change something in your life, change it. So I don't really think it. I mean, yes, it's a gamble, but I don't think it's not in any way a negative gamble at all. Because if it didn't work, well, it just would work. If I want it to work, it's going to work. That's the way I see it. I don't know. Yeah.
But is that you being totally focused on what you want to achieve?
Yeah.
Which is really good, you know, and I applaud you for that. I think it's amazing, definitely.
But can we stop talking about me now?
No, it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's just one example of many. Because this video is about achieving goals in life. Say, okay, right. Let's talk about the video I put up last week was a little personal goal for myself. So I set myself a challenge of let's push myself in January. Let's get fit. Let's get healthy. Let's change the way I think about my fitness and who I am now, and for the good, because we all want to do it in life. We all want to go to the gym. We all want to eat healthy food and cut all the bad things out, because at the end of the day we know it's bad for us. and we've all done it many times. I certainly have, and failed. You know, you do it for a week or two, and then you stop. But this time, I really passionately wanted to do it inside, and I really focused on it, and it was hard, but it was so much more rewarding
because you achieved it.
Because I achieved it, yeah, at the end of it, and the results were good at the end.
The things that are worth having are difficult.
Definitely.
Well, I think it's important also to think that goals don't have to be massive things.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely.
You know, they haven't got to be career changes. They haven't got to be, you know, moving house, marriage, whatever other big things go on in life. I can't really think. You know, saving someone's life. I mean, that'd be great, but you know, that isn't the stuff. Sometimes it can be the little things as well. And I think generally, as people, we sometimes forget that stuff, and we don't acknowledge enough good stuff about ourselves that we should. So, like small achievements that would help us feel positive.
That's really good. And a really small thing, like a silly thing for me in my life. I never used to cook, and I couldn't cook. And then at one time in my life, I found myself in a position where I had to cook. And just the basics. I'm talking like cook a spag bowl or something silly like that. But
fry an
egg. But you know, I learned how to do it, and the feeling you get inside, I can do this. And then I went on and learned how to cook other things. And you know, I'm not a fantastic cook by all means, but at the same time, I was still achieving for myself, and it did feel good. And it was it became with a goal. And
well, I think you're right. It's like I've kind of figured out that you don't have to be the best at everything to enjoy it and for it to be worth trying. It's like you could go and take part in something, and even if you were absolutely lame, you know, just taking part can still be really fun, and the feeling you get from that itself can be really rewarding, and then you can congratulate yourself for having tried and for taking part and for giving it a go, and you kind of, it's just good, you know. Those little things in life are things that I think, you know, we need to remind ourselves of, like,
oh, definitely,
you know, our little achievements and our little goals. Like what did you call them?
I made a little recently. I made up this really silly thing. I took the idea from
gamer points.
Yeah, like Xbox, where you get achievement points.
That's it.
And I called it. Was it life achievements?
Life achievement points.
So basically, it was a silly thing like, I've just made a sandwich, and it goes, you've just made a sandwich and you've achieved 5 life achievement points. And
hoovered the house.
And you get 3 achievement points. And it was a silly little concept that I brought up, you know, a couple of weeks back, which kind of makes you think, yeah, no, that's.
But it is an achievement.
Yeah, and it is, yeah, and you're right, and you shouldn't forget about the small things in life.
No.
Because every achievement is an achievement, and you can't write that off.
No.
So what are your thoughts on if in life, if you want to achieve something, but you're feeling really down and you're feeling low? You know, because at the video, at the beginning of it, we put some like negative words in there, you know, and if you find yourself in that position, How do you turn it around? How do you achieve your goals?
Well, I think like you can't go straight from that position to achieving your goals. You have to first realise why you're in that position. So whatever that is for you, you know, what's holding you back, what actually is causing you to feel that way, you know, is it a person, is it a situation, is it just an emotional thing or whatever. And I think once you figure out and you're truthful with yourself what the problem is, then you can start moving on and you can start changing it.
Definitely.
And you've just got to change it slowly, you know, and believe, love, believe.
That's your word.
You've got to believe that you can change it and to fight and to keep going and I guess just to kind of just give yourself a bit of time and a bit of love and try to move on. And
Definitely.
I think so many people can relate to being in that,
For
that
sure,
place where
yeah.
you just don't know what to do and
Definitely.
you know, things are really tough and you can't kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, but there is, you know.
For me, there's 3 little quotes in my head at one point in my life when I hit rock bottom, and they were, if I can try to remember now, they were 2 steps forwards and 1 step back, because it does feel like that, you know, when you're trying to pick yourself up and push yourself on, and when you feel like you're getting somewhere, then you step back, but you've got to keep going. So that there was that one, and the other big one for me was little steps. It pretty much goes back to what you're saying, you know. It has to be little steps. You're right, you can't just jump straight into it and achieve. You've got to take them little steps. And the other fantastic one, which a few of you may know, was forwards ever, backwards never. And I love that. I think that's absolutely amazing, and it's so true. You know, you've got to look to the future and put the past behind you, whatever it may be, and just build from that.
There's also one, I can't remember whose quote it is, it's a famous person, I can't remember, but it says, or they say, what would you do tomorrow if you knew you couldn't fail?
Wow, that's brilliant. I mean, whoa.
And you actually try and think about it. I don't really know.
Wow, I love that. Do you know, that's a video in itself.
Yeah.
That really is. That's such a big question.
Because if you were sat and you were at the brick wall, it was tough, you were sad, it was scary, everything was terrible, you know, if you had all those emotions going on, what would you do tomorrow if you knew you couldn't fail? And I think sometimes if you can picture what you could do, or not even what you think you could do, because sometimes you don't believe you can, but what would you do? And then picture it, and then you can work for it. And I don't know what I'd do though.
I don't know, I was sitting there thinking what would I do, and I was trying to tell you what I did, but I generally can't think of anything what I would do. I mean, when you pose that question, is it what one thing? Like it
No, it could be anything, because you could do anything you want. That's the whole point.
Wow.
But I guess the point of it being tomorrow is tomorrow you do it tomorrow. So, you know, for example, jump out a plane, or I know that's just an example, but you know, say it was something that really would confront your fears or something, you know, and if you knew you couldn't fail, or say you'd been umming and ahhing about, I don't know, setting up a business, or I can't really think of anything.
Going for that job interview, like, you know, just a silly thing like that.
And you're like, oh, I can't, because you know, we tend to find reasons why we can't do things sometimes. And if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? What would you go for?
Oh, exactly, yeah. And that's enough. Do you know, I could jump on so many things that's a great point you just made. You always find a reason why you can't do something, you know, and I think we all do it. I mean, I've certainly done it many times. I can't do that because I feel like I look fat today in these clothes. I can't go outside, you know, or there's many of them, but that's so good. You always, if you don't want to do something in your head, you find a reason not to do it, and it's setting yourself a goal to get over that and do that thing that you wanted to do. I do like that.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I can't remember whose quote it is though. I think I've got it on my phone somewhere. So I think that's it. I think that's the thing, is when you've got all that horrible bad stuff going on, there is always something else, and your goals, little goals, particularly when you're sad or something, little goals, are the best. So even if it's getting out of bed and making a cup of tea, and then if you do it and you manage, big pat on the back, respect to you, acknowledge the fact that you have just managed to do that.
Definitely. Do you know? And that's, you're great. You're bringing up some fantastic things. That is massive. That I think if anything, you've got to take anything from the video today about achieving goals is acknowledge it and give yourself that tap on the back and go, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. I think that's brilliant, and I think that's probably a really good way to end the video, because I don't want to overwrite anything else, because I think yes, yeah, if you've achieved something, you should acknowledge it, and you should recognise it.
Acknowledge the good.
Acknowledge the good, yeah.
Because
how little it may be.
We're all way too good at acknowledging the bad.
Definitely.
Everyone we acknowledge the bad in ourselves, we acknowledge the bad in other people, and sometimes we just don't see the good stuff.
Definitely. I think there's a percentage, I think it's 80-20 or something, where people remember 80%. If you were negative towards someone, there's an 80% chance that, forgive me if the figures aren't right, but there's an 80% chance that they'll remember that. But if you're positive towards someone, there's only 20% chance they remember that, and that is true. How many times do you walk into a shop and the shopkeeper in there is just a bit grumpy? You remember, if you go in that shop and they're nice, they're polite, you don't remember, you don't tell anyone. But if they were really grumpy or rude to you, go and tell someone. You generally do, like your friend or whoever it may be. So I think that's...
You need to acknowledge the good.
Acknowledge the good within yourself and give yourself that big tap on the back. I achieved it, because it feels good. That even had a little thing there. So I think that's a great place to end this video today.
Well, we could actually end it by me saying, I'm going to acknowledge that I have survived another video.
Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's completely different to what I normally do, and I just thought it would be nice just to sit down and just talk about life totally off the cuff. And I said to Fred, I want to make this video. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I just want to sit down and talk about it and just see what comes off the tongue. So there was no preparation in the sub-contents of this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button below. Write a comment if there's anything else you want us to talk about, or any other videos you want us to make. And obviously, check us out every Sunday. I said us then.
Not us, not me.
Check me out every Sunday at 6 o'clock. I've got some great videos planned for this year. Obviously, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.